See, in the previous session, we were discussing exception handling, and in the exception handling, we have discussed the examples for try, catch, multiple catch for single try, multiple catches for single try. Even finally, we have discussed with the examples we have discussed. Try, catch, finally, multiple catches for try. What is the purpose of using try? When we have to use try? When we have to use the catch and the finally block. So how it is going to be executed, that all examples we have discussed in the previous session. Now see here, next two exception handling keywords left is throws. Throws. What is throw? Which is useful for throwing the exception. Which is useful for throwing the exception. We can able to throw either checked exception or unchecked exception with the keyword throw. With the keyword throw. See, inside the function body, we have to throw the exception. Inside the method body, inside the method definition, we have to throw the exception. By using throws, we can able to throw an exception in the declaration itself. In the declaration itself. To handle checked exception, we are using the throws keyword. To handle the checked exception, we are using the throws keyword. By using throw keyword, we are handling checked exceptions, unchecked exceptions as well. See, we'll see. Throw example, we'll see first. Here itself, I'll take a public static void main method as well. Okay. See, main method is a main method, and this is a static main method. Static main method. Whenever we are writing the static method, we no need to create the object. Automatically, this is going to be called for execution. Automatically, this is going to be called for execution. So similar to that, I'll write one public static void public static method. What is the purpose of using static methods? We have to discuss it. See, we have completed the inner classes. We have completed the inner classes. In the inner classes, we have discussed only non-static inner classes. If you see inner classes concept, we have discussed there are two types of inner classes. One is static inner classes and the other one is non-static inner classes. Static, non-static. All these three we have discussed is non-static inner classes. We have discussed only member inner class, anonymous inner class, local inner class. We didn't discuss this, we didn't discuss this static inner class. We didn't discuss this static inner class. That also we will cover in today's session. That also we will cover in today's session. What is static inner class? How we are going to write the static variable, static methods. That all we will discuss. See here. I would like to write one static method. Just my intention is to validate whether the person age is eligible for voting or not. If the person age is greater than 18, eligible for voting. Why? Eligible. I'll give the method name as eligible. And I would like to give the age as the argument here. This is the method. This is a static method. Static method. When we want to execute this static method, we no need to create the object, and by using the object, we no need to access this method. Simply, we are going to be call this method. Simply, the calling statement, method name, and the arguments what we have to provide will be providing that. See, just I am going to be write if statement, if statement, age is greater than 18, eligible for voting. See, if we queue like this, age is greater than 18, eligible for voting. If age is less than 18, this is going to be executed, or else this is going to be executed. Eligible for voting. Okay, this is a statement, function calling statement. And I will write here some statement, rest of the code in the normal flow of execution. See, we know that program is going to be starts its execution with the main method. Then we have eligible method here, which is a static method. Because of that, directly we are writing the method name and the arguments. Directly we are writing the method name and arguments. So this is a static method. Directly we can call without using the object of that particular class. Okay. Now here, throw is a keyword which is used for throwing the exception which has been occurred with the new keyword. So here I'll think like arithmetic exception we are going to be raise. Arithmetic exception, and here exception occurs. That is our own message. Exception occurs, not eligible for voting. Right? After completion of this method execution, after completion of this method execution, then it is going to be execute the rest of the code. See, if you observe here, it is raising the exception. It is raising the exception. What exception it is raising here? Arithmetic exception. And here exception occurs, not eligible for voting. This is a message we have given. Even this message it is displaying here. Exception occurs, not eligible for voting. That is a message we have given here. It is going to be display even that message here. Okay. So actually, what is the exception it is raising? Arithmetic exception. That information it is going to be give for us. Any doubt in this example? If you have any doubt, ask me.
Sir, without using throw also we can write no, sir.
Asmita,
Yes, sir, without
see, as we discussed here, by using the throw keyword, we are going to be we are going to be throw the exception in the method body. As this is a method body, in the method body only we are throwing the exception. We are throwing the exception. See, next we'll see the example for throws. In the function declaration or in the method declaration, we have to throw that explicitly. We have to throw the exception. Then we are going to be use the throws keyword. Explicitly, if we want to throw the exception, we are going to be use this. See, if I'm giving here 19 eligible for voting, eligible for voting, because this condition is going to be get false, else statement is going to be execute. It is going to be execute this else block and rest of the part. Previously, if it is throwing the exception here, we are not handling it by using the try catch. Because of that, rest of the code it is not executing. Yeah, sure. Okay. If I am enclosing this in the try block, immediately we have to write the catch block. Eligible for voting, rest of the code will execute because it is not raising the exception. So if I am changing this, not eligible for voting, not eligible. Yeah, it is not throwing this error. It is not throwing this exception. It is, see, when we are writing try catch, when we are writing try catch, see, if this condition is false, eligible for voting, it is going to be print. If this condition is true, it has to throw this exception, but it is not throwing that. So simply, when it is raising an exception, catch block is executing here, not eligible for voting. Catch block is executing. It is not throwing the exception. It is catching it. Eligible, see, previously when we have given 19 over here, so this condition is true. When this condition is true, here else block is going to be executed eligible for voting, and it is going to be print that eligible for voting, and next it is going to be print rest of the code in the normal flow of execution it is printing. So now here, when it is raising an exception with the code what we have written in the try block, it is not throwing the exception. Instead of that, it is going to be handle the exception by using the catch block. So because of that only, it is going to be print this message first not eligible for voting, and the rest of the code it is going to be executed. Because of that only, initially I didn't provide it try catch blocks, try catch blocks. Directly I have written for throwing the exception. Directly I have written for throwing the exception. So like that we can able to throw the exception. I think you got the purpose of using the throw. No, no, it is not going to be paid because if if here it is not going to be raised the exception. Here else block is going to be executed. What I have discussed in a previous example. So it is going to be gives eligible for voting and this rest of the code in the normal flow of execution. Now we'll see the example for throws, which is used for throwing the exception explicitly. Throwing the exception explicitly in a sense, in the declaration itself, we are going to be throw the exception. See, declaration of method itself, we are going to be throw the exception. This is a syntax. This is a syntax for Java uh, throws keyword. This is a syntax for throws keyword. Return type, method name, throws exception class name. Which exception we are throwing? That exception class name we have to provide here, and the implementation. See, if it is a throw keyword, by using the throw keyword, we are going to be write the body. We are going to be throw the exception in the body of the method. We are going to be throw the body. We are going to be throw the exception in the body of the method. If it is a uh, by using throws, we can able to throw the exception explicitly in the method declaration itself along with the method signature. We are going to be throw it. That is a syntax for using the throws. We'll see the example. See here, just I'll void method one. For this class, I'm creating the object, and by using this object, I'm calling the method one. See here, method one called, and I'm going to be write one more method. void method 2. So here I'm writing some throws keyword IO exception. Whenever we are throwing this particular class, this is an exception class. This is an exception class. When we are throwing this exception class, we have to use, we have to import IO exception. We have to use IO exception. See, that is exception class. This is a package we have to import when we are using this. We have to import this when we are using this exception class. Java is a package. In that, IO is a package which is related to input output, and this IO exception is uh, IO exception is a class. Is a class. Throw by using new keyword IO exception. Input output input output exception occurs. This is one method. See, with the uh, this class method td1, I'm calling the method 1. So it is going to be called this method. So I have to call this method too. So how I can able to call this method? So by using this add throws declaration already have. So yeah, I can able to call that. If I want to call the method 3, method 3 called, method 3 called, and if you see, if I'm calling this method by using the new keyword, by using thread demo one class dot, so method 3 we can able to call here, but here we cannot able to call it like this. So directly method 3, definitely it is going to be asked to throw the exception. Here itself I'll call. Method 1 called, method 1 is called. When we are calling this method, it is throwing the exception. So it is going to be call this method too. It is occurring this IO exception, and then it is going to be print the message we are using. Input output exception occurs. Input output exception occurs. So if I'm not calling this method here, and if I'm calling this method here, what will happen? We'll see. First method 1 is going to be called, and it is going to be called the, see, in the method 1, first it is going to be called the method 3. So when it is calling the method 3, it is going to be called this statement to print method 3 called. Then it is going to be come back. Here it is going to be print this statement, and it is going to be called this statement. So it is going to be after this exception. Because of that, we are going to be get this IO exception, and along with that, it is going to throw this message as well. See, observe that by using throws keyword, we are throwing the exception class explicitly. By using the throws keyword, we are going to be throw the exception class explicitly. Explicitly. Okay. See, now by using the throw keyword, we are going to be throw the exception inside the method. That is, in the method implementation, we have to throw it. In the method implementation, we have to throw it. So here, throws keyword will be used for throwing the exception explicitly. In a sense, in the declaration of the method itself, we are going to be throw it. We are going to be throw it. See, along with the method signature, we are going to be do it. As an example for throws, most important concept for interview purpose or practically or in the project when we are working, this concept is most important for us. See here, the difference between throw and throws. Most important interview question. Difference between throw and throws. Most important interview question. See, as we discussed, throw keyword is used to throw an exception explicitly in the code inside the method or block of the code. But throws keyword is used in the method signature to declare an exception which might be thrown by the method while the execution of the code. Okay. Next, throw keyword is followed by an instance of exception. If you observe in this example, throw keyword instance, how we are going to be get the instance by using the new keyword. Throws keyword is followed by class names of exceptions to be thrown. So this is a class name. This is a class name, which is the exception we are going to be throw. And the next difference, throw is used within the method. Throws is used with the method signature. And we can able to throw only one exception at a time. We cannot able to throw multiple exceptions by using the throw keyword. By using the throw keyword, we can able to throw only one exception. Multiple exceptions we cannot able to throw. But whereas here, by using the throws keyword, we can able to throw the multiple exceptions as well. So that multiple exceptions, how we can able to throw, that we have discussed already in the previous sessions. I'll show you the example. Just example for buffer reader concept itself. Buffer reader concept, if we discuss, so there we have, yeah, there we have thrown two exceptions. One is number format exception, and the other one is IO exception. Multiple exceptions also we can able to throw here. Multiple exceptions also we can able to throw here. By using the throw keyword, we can able to throw only a single exception. We can throw only one exception. We cannot able to throw multiple exceptions. But whereas by using the throws keyword, we can able to throw multiple exceptions. These are some differences between throw and throws. Most important question in the interview definitely will be getting the question. Most of the time they'll ask this question, throws keyword. With this, exception handling is done. Exception handling topic is done. See, the next concept is static. Next concept is static. See, static is a keyword which is used for memory management. We can able to use the static keyword for the variables, methods, and the classes as well. See, first we are going to be use the static keyword for the variable. Static keyword for the variable. See, once the memory assigned, so for this memory is going to be assigned in the class area at the time of loading the class. At the time of loading the class, we cannot able to modify that directly. When we can able to modify that in the static method only, we can able to modify static variable. Int x is a normal variable. Is also normal variable. So I'm giving the static keyword. This is the static variable. This is a static variable. How we are going to be access this static variable, we'll see. See, static variable, if you declare any variable as static, it is known as static variable. It is known as static variable. See, a static variable will be allocating the memory only once in a class area at the time of at the time of loading class. At the time of loading class. So best example which I can say here is, let's suppose there is a employee class where we need employee ID, employee name, and a company name. All the employees are working with the same company. Then company name will be the common for everyone. Common for everyone. Only employee ID, employee name are going to be get changed. There are 100 employees in a company, so employee is same. Uh, Sorry, in the employee ID, employee name will be changed. Company name will be same. If instead of taking these three details each and every time, whenever for 100 employees we want to get 100, we want to take 100, we want to take. See, now what I'm going to take here is, if I'm making this company name as a static variable and if I'm assigning one value to it, only the other two we require to get the data while we are creating the object. So we are going to be take those two and we are going to be save the memory. We are going to be save the memory. How we are going to be do that, we'll see. Let's suppose I'll take the class as employee. Let's suppose I'll take the class as employee. int employee ID is one variable. This is a normal variable, and string employee name is string variable. String company name. Let me consider company name is Raju's e-learning. I'm going to be make it as a static. I'm going to be make it as a static variable. So this I can say this is a static variable. This is a static variable. These two are normal instance variables. Instance variables. And this is also instance variable. And here I am writing one constructor with two requirements. That is two arguments. One is employee ID, employee name. So one is integer, and the other one is string, right? So one I'm going to be give as ID, and the string name I'll be giving. This is a constructor. So this is a parameterized constructor with two arguments. Parameterized constructor with two arguments. One is integer and the other one is string. See, first what we want here, employee ID. For employee ID, we are assigning the name as ID. Okay, fine. Name. Display. So just I'll be displaying this. Employee name, employee ID, sorry, employee ID here, employee name, company name, so this constructor is having the two arguments. We are going to be call this sg1 new 1001, and the string is abc 1001, and the string is abc we are providing here. Sorry. One is integer and the other one is I'm providing as a string. One is integer and the other one I'm providing as a string. Okay, so now what will happen here? about. I take this complete part itself in this class. Sorry. Okay. Now for this employee class, I'll be creating E1 is the first employee. So we'll be having 1001 is the employee ID. Name is ABC. And the second employee E2 1002 XYZ is the employee. Like that, how many employees data we want to get? Now this constructor is going to be called automatically because we are providing the required arguments and we have created the object for this particular class itself, and that ID what we are providing as an argument will be assigned to this, and this is going to be get the name. So here itself we are calling this display method. So the display method from the main method we have to call. So here I'm going to be call this e1 dot e1 dot display. Now if we execute this, all the three employees data, it is going to be display for them. Employee ID, employee name, company name for the first employee, because the company name is same. We are going to be access only one in all the places. For that purpose, we can use the values. If I would like to change the name of the company, let me change here. Company name. I'm assigning here itself. In the constructor, it is going to be get assigned. Okay. Like this. Any doubt in this? If you have any doubt, ask me. Okay. In the next session, we will discuss static method.